Now, we are all guilty of doing it. You're on your holidays, you take a photo, and of course you want to share that special moment just to rub it in. So you post it on social media. Seems innocent enough, but here is the problem. Depending on your privacy settings, that photo could be viewed by potential burglars who then use your personal information to work out the best time to break in and nick things. According to recent figures, 78% of ex-burglars say they use social media to target empty houses. 3/4 of adults worry about home security when they go on holiday, but more than half admit to using social media to post information about their trip. Someone who knows all too well about the dangers of posting holiday snaps online is the writer Sally Windsor. I'm also joined by former detective Peter Kirkham for a bit of advice. So Sally, tell us what happened.
Really innocent, as you said. You know, I went away, my daughter was on school holidays. We took her away to a theme park for a couple of days, and I did what most mums do, is I posted pictures on social media. This is us doing this and that, and we've been away for a couple of nights. I tagged the posts of where I was, and got back and the place had been completely ransacked. It was absolutely awful.
So tagging them where you were,
yes,
obviously where you weren't.
I was.
Which was home.
Indeed, and we went to the other end of the country to a theme park up there when we live in the southeast, and it was quite obvious that it wasn't going to be a one-day trip. Also, I'd been away for a couple of nights at that point, and you know, it was so obvious. You know, I never did I think that that would happen in that way, but it just goes to show that you're being targeted in all different ways.
How were your privacy settings before?
Not great, better now.
I bet they are.
Yeah.
Which is the advice, Peter, isn't it, surely?
It is, but unfortunately quite a lot of the social media operators don't make it particularly easy for people to understand what their privacy settings are and what they actually mean. If you've got the opportunity to sort of log on to the internet as somebody else and look at yourself, you'll see what can be seen by somebody that isn't a friend or whatever. But obviously there's so many different social media networks now that it's really difficult for people to try and keep up with everything. But it's just I don't know, ever since the internet's been invented, people seem to be very naive about the internet, and only nice people are on the internet. No, some very nasty people are on the internet. Because it's so uncontrolled, it's probably less safe than public space. So, you know, you need to be more aware of what's going on there and what you're doing.
But it's not just the privacy settings either. This idea of geo-tagging, you know, you take a photo on Instagram, for example, you can say, I took it here. Do you think people should actively avoid doing that?
People need to ask themselves why they're doing it, what they're doing, why they're doing it, what's the point of it. And if you don't need to share information about anything, don't share it, because someone somewhere will potentially have some nefarious use for it.
But you don't want to ruin the fun, do you, Sally? I mean, of course, it's nice sharing photos of a trip to, you know, Alton Towers or wherever with your friends, with family who perhaps can't be there. Is it going to stop you doing that now?
I think it's just put a bit of a different spin on it for me personally. It's made me just more aware of what I'm posting, when I'm posting it. What I've decided to do personally is if I'm going to go away for a couple of days, if it's something that I want to share a picture of my little girl or something like that, I will then do it after the event. You know, when I'm back, these are the lovely pictures of our trip away. This is us. We're solidly back at home now, and obviously we can't be targeted in that way. But it really opened my eyes to the fact that, you know, this kind of thing happens. I
guess the thing is, though, Peter, I mean, the burglars still had to know where Sally lived. They didn't know that there was no one there necessarily, unless they were doing other things as well. They're not just going on social media and saying, oh, these are pictures of you know, your holiday in Tenerife, I'll go and check out your house.
No, indeed, and you know, some groups of burglars will actually actively try and sort of pick up who's living local to where they are and try and monitor what they're up to. But then, as you say, they'll need to check out with the usual sort of thing that burglars do, you know, checking whether there's lights on, whether there's any signs of comings and goings over a day or two, tapping on doors, windows, ringing the doorbell, whatever it might be, to verify whether there's anybody there or not. So, you know, the message is, if you are away, then have somebody looking after your house and think about that. It's the high-tech version of cancelling the milk and the papers.
Very good advice, Peter. Thanks very much indeed. Sally, thanks to you. Unfortunately, I haven't caught these people yet, but I hope they do.
Thank you.
Thank you.